Welcome to part one of my build of the 1970 Chevy Impala SS by AMT. Ooh, losing my voice here. This is I'm going to do a box stock build. That's my thing. I like to do box stock. This is an original 1970-72 release kit. I bought a collection of 1968, 69 to 1972 models recently. Most of the kits had been assembled and then disassembled and yeah, totally messed up. The only two kits in the collection that hadn't been built were this 1970 Impala and a 55 Chevy Nomad. So I kept those two, sold all the rest, well, except for a couple that have been started and are pretty clean. And so I thought I'd start on this one. It looked like a pretty simple build. It's fairly basic, although nicely the exhaust is separate and the front suspension, rear suspension are separate castings, which in 1970 was not the norm. Boy, I haven't had any coffee this morning, can you tell? So I decided to start on this kit on the chassis. Don't ask me why. I just felt like doing a little different. So I started building the chassis last night, and here we are. This is what step from the instruction manual. It's like step 3. Nope, step 2. So step 1 would be the engine. It went together fairly straightforward. Oh, I have one last thing to add to it, I guess. I didn't put the drive shaft in. So that has yet to be put on. Yeah, as far as flash and such, pretty good. I just ran along the edges of the exhaust to take off the mold lines. Likewise on the rear axle, I had to do a little bit of just scraping with the X-Acto blade to remove some flash along the mating surfaces. So that was pretty clean. Yeah, we'll see what happens next. I think the next step will be the engine, and I'll get to work on that pretty soon. One thing about this particular model is, I don't know if you can see it, the A-pillars got crushed a little bit in the box. So I've been trying to keep it together like this so that it won't get crushed again. I'm going to do a little bit more pushing down on there. Maybe a little bit of heat with a hairdryer will help bring that back down. All in all, a pretty good car kit. I like the lines of these. I remember seeing these boats when I was a boy. They are boats. Oh my gosh, you could put ping pong tables in the back in the trunk of these things. But yep, that was the 70s. Gasoline was what, 35 cents a gallon, 40 cents a gallon. There was a little bit of where the mold parting lines were. I had to do a little bit of scraping, and there were a couple of injector pin marks, which now that I see it in place, it's not going to be visible anyways. I did carve them off, but I didn't need to. Interesting thing about the exhaust is in two pieces. There's one piece here for the resonator in the back, and then one piece to the front. And again, the resonator over here, and one piece all the way up through. They do give you chrome glass packs to put on the back here if you want. In the kit, where is it? Anyways, it's in there. And they also give you, there's another exhaust for the drag version as well. So there's where we stand. Next process, I think, will be, if I don't do the engine, I want to paint the chassis. And I think I will do it all black, including, oh, I got some ejector pin marks to clear up. on the fender wells. See you then. So here we have the chassis all painted up and assembled with the engine. And I painted, I'd call it a rolling chassis, but the wheels are glued in place. Painted the exhaust with Testor's aluminum, flat aluminum. And I put a little bit of weathering on there. I think it's maybe a little bit more later. The wheels are stock wheels. I put some black wash to bring out the spokes and the wheel covers. And I haven't put the wiring in for the engine, but I did drill it out. So there's holes there for spark plugs, spark plug wires if I want to put them in. And I also drilled out the battery, if you can see it there. I drilled out the battery for cables as well. Maybe later. So next step is on to the body. Still no paint on that. And I haven't decided. I want to do green on the interior as well. And I have to wait on the interior again because I haven't decided on the body color. So, boom, there's where we stand now. That's what's white left. What's left white. Something like that. And wow, a little blood. Blood on the dashboard. Looks like somebody had a head-on collision. No airbags. Yeah, green. I don't, you know, that 1970s, I call it puke green. I really don't like it, that color. My dad had a GM product back in the early 70s that was painted that horrible green color, and I never liked it, and I still don't. So, if I can find an appropriate paint for that color, I don't know what would come even close to matching that. And a suitable, miserable, horrible green color interior to go with it. Wouldn't that be 1970? Here's the Impala, painted what I was hoping would be a pretty close approximation to citrus green, I think it was called back then. This is the color I was looking for. I was hoping it would be a little bit lighter, but this is Testor's bright citrus green or something like that. It's a metallic finish from Testor's, and that's what it looks like. So it's down to the final assembly stages here. Whoops, my hand's shaking so bad. I need to do the chrome trim, and the finish was a little bit orange peel, and I did do a little bit of buffing on it, polish it out. It helped it a little bit, a little glossier now. There's the body, the firewall, a little bit of detailing on that, and the chassis here. And I've been working on the plug wires and the heater piping here, and I haven't got the plug wires all in yet, obviously. And over here is the interior body, the interior pan. It doesn't want to go in place because the plug wires are holding it. So, do the chrome on the body, finish up the plug wires, and that'll be the next stage. Take 3. This is the Chevrolet 1970 Impala SS 454. All done. Hopefully complete. I keep finding things that I wanted to do on a final touch-up, and I keep going back and touching. And hopefully this is the final. As you can see, I put an antenna on it. I love to put antennas on my models. It's a guitar string, old guitar string, and I put a little bead of white glue on the tip there. Actually, it's not white glue. It's micro crystal clear that you use for windows. And the back, I wasn't sure what to do with the taillights on this. It comes with the clear green, clear red, I should say, outer taillights, and the center one is chrome. From the photographs, it looks like they were red as well, so I wasn't really sure what to do about it. I painted it red and put a little white dot for backup light. And let's see, there's a lovely citrus green exterior, and I don't know what color green the interior is, but there's the interior. Some kind of lovely green. I'm noticing this camera doesn't like to do close-ups. Alright, let's see if we can get the hood off. As you can see, I did bare metal foil on the appropriate chrome places, and including the front edge or front lip of the grill, the hood. And there's the hood and the engine. I did ignition wiring. I found that the distributor on this is really hard to drill, and so I really had a hard time. I spent, God, a couple of hours doing the wiring on the engine. I also put the heater piping in, and the positive, you can't see it, the positive and negative cables on the battery. If I can get it on there. Does that show now? Yeah. Oh, should I have painted the back side of the grill black? Never thought of that. And here's the chassis. I'll try and get this out of the way. The chassis. I had to do some touch up on the chassis because there were some spots where the glue attacked the bare metal foil and made some silver spots. I also, if you're building one of these kits, make sure that you paint the underside of the interior pan black. I had to brush paint up in there because it does show through. And what else did I notice? I think I saw some comments online about people not liking the way the exhaust fit. I didn't really have any trouble. It looks like the, oops, you can't see it. It looks like they match up pretty good up there with the exhaust piping and the headers, exhaust headers. And one other thing I noticed as I was doing some touch up on the chassis was the drive shaft is just a little bit short. I think you can see it doesn't really match up. So it goes. It's not going to show when it's on the display case with my other 1970s Chevys, 60s Chevys. This will go probably not too far from my 76 Vega. And come on, snap in there. Doesn't want to snap in. There we go. The hood fits really tight on this. Well, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my videos, if you enjoy modeling, if you want to see more videos like this, hit the like button down below. Subscribe. I don't get many questions, so anybody that sends a question will get a response, or at least they will get read. And if you have any suggestions or other comments, please leave them down below. I hope you have fun with your modeling, and have a good day.